Real estate housing prices skyrocketing across GTA. If you are a first-time home buyer or an investor, where would you be looking at? How about Brantford? Let's find out. What is up, YouTube? This is your host Yasin Nizami, and I am back today with another real estate market update. And today we are going to talk about Brantford, Ontario. Now, before we dive into this, if you are new to my channel, I humbly welcome you. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, please do it now so that you don't miss any future videos just like this one, which I will be publishing regularly for you guys. Now, Brantford has a lot of history behind it. It is also nicknamed as a telephony city. Do you know why? Because Alexander Graham Bell, who invented telephony from this town by dialing a first telephone call from his home in Brantford to Paris, Ontario. So if you don't know where Brantford is situated, look at the Google map. It is surrounded by all the major cities just outside the suburb of the GTA. So if you go up in the north, you will see Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo and Guelph. In the east, you will have Hamilton and Burlington. And then in the west, you have Woodstock all the way to London. So it is strategically placed where you can have 30 minutes drive to all of these major cities in order to commute to maybe work or find something else. Now, the main responsibility of a town is to promote a city, not only to the local residents but also the external people who are looking to invest into the city or maybe would like to move in and live in. Now, if you look at the city of Brantford website, it is very well designed and a lot of information is put out there to present and market city of Brantford, and it's easy to navigate through. So for example, if you look at the city of Brantford website, they talk about the current population is around 100,000 as per 2016 census, but they are projecting the population has to grow almost 60% by 2041. So within the next 20 years, there will be a 60% population growth, which is significant. And when a city is projecting that much population, you can imagine a lot of development planning needs to happen, more infrastructure, roads, rail, hospitals, schools, commercial, as well as real estate, residential services needs to be there in order to support that massive population growth. Let's talk about the transit. So as we have seen, the 403 highways cutting right through the city, so it is commutable by drive from Brantford to Toronto. Both Toronto Pearson Airport and Hamilton Airport are close by, 100 kilometers for Pearson, 35 kilometers for Hamilton Airport from Brantford, as well as the Brantford city is serviced by major sea and freight lines, as well as the Via Rail and Go Transit buses. Now let's move on to the labor statistics, and you can see the city is heavily dependent upon advanced manufacturing, film, television, media, food, beverage services and manufacturing, plastic and rubber manufacturing, warehouse and distribution. All of these key sectors are kind of the essential services which are not likely to be impacted by pandemic, and which is the reason why the city has one of the lowest unemployment ratio as compared to the nearby cities. So as per Advantage Brantford website, and by the way, Advantage Brantford is the economic arm of city of Brantford, so their statistics are kind of authentic. So they did research on that, and they have published some very nice infographics and information about it. So if you look at that, the unemployment rate of Brantford comes second in the list compared to other surrounding cities. The top one on the list is Guelph with 5.8%. Brantford comes second with 6.1% unemployment rate, as compared to other cities like Hamilton 8.1, St. Catharines 9.1, Waterloo Region 8.5, and London 7.7. So if you compare Brantford with Canada average is 8.6% and Brantford 6.1, which is like 2.5% less than Canada average. If you compare this with Ontario average, which is 9.5, so 3.5% less than Ontario average. So this is excellent, guys. If you are looking to invest into a city, you should and must looking at the unemployment ratios in order to determine that whether the local employment opportunities are enough there to support the economy in the city. Now let's move on to the residential real estate statistics. Now Advantage Brantford has collected information from different sources, and one of the sources is CREA, which is Canadian Real Estate Association, which all of us use that. If you look at that, Brantford is the cheapest city to buy residential real estate as compared to the GTA as well as the surrounding cities. So as per November price statistics, Brantford has average house price of $503,000 compared to Canada average, which is 603, Cambridge 609, Kitchener-Waterloo 612, Gulf 658, Hamilton Burlington 735, Ontario average 744, GTA average 902, and look at Oakville Milton, $1.1 million. So if you own a house in Oakville or Milton, you can sell that, cash it out, and buy 2 properties in Brantford. This is no-brainer, guys. Let's move on to the CREA website, and this is where it is showing the comparison between the GTA year-over-year price appreciation versus Brantford. So if you look at the GTA pricing, it has gone up 11% year-over-year compared to December pricing from 2019 to 2020. Okay. And look at the Brantford year-over-year growth, which is 23%. The pricing in December 2019 for an average house in Brantford was $413, and now it has gone up to $509,000. That is significant. And the reason, guys, is affordability, where everything is going so crazy in GTA, and not only in GTA but also in the suburbs. Brantford was still very cheap, and it's still very cheap compared to what's happening right now in the other parts of the city. Now if you look at the sales activity in Brantford, it is just below the 10-year average, which is compared to other cities, it is expected. But if you look at the new listing, it is close to 10-year average, which is okay as per December listings. But the key thing here is, if you look at the active listing, it is less than 50 listings in December. So last time when it has gone that low was in 2016, and after that there was a spike from 2017 onwards all the way to 2019. So if you look at the trend, it is likely that from here it will spike again compared to what happened in 2017 onwards. And if you look at the months of inventory in Brantford, guys, this is like 2 weeks worth of inventory left as per December statistics, which is kind of nothing. That inventory will be absorbed in no time. And if you compare with the historical trend, that the last time when we went that low, actually not that low, this is the lowest inventory in the last 10 years. In 2016, it was literally above 2 weeks worth of inventory, and what happened after that? From 2017, inventory went up. The next 3 years in the row, 26, 17, 18, and 19, there was a lot of even then there was not a lot of inventory to meet the 10-year average. And look at the average price. Again, if you look at the trend, back in 2016, the average house price was nearly $300,000, and in the last 4 years, it has gradually going up, from $300,000 to $400,000, and then between 2017 and 2019, it's kind of stayed at the same level, plus minus $400,000. But then from 2019 and then 2020 has been explosive everywhere in Canada, especially in southern Ontario, where the prices were going crazy because of lack of inventory and low interest rate, and people were moving out from downtown urban areas to suburban areas. So the last thing I want to cover, guys, is look at what kind of investment is coming into the city. As per the City of Brantford website, 2019, 11 new firms brought 333 new jobs in Brantford, and Brantford saw 25 million permit value in industrial building permits, over 100 acres of private industrial employment. Greenfield lands are anticipated to come to the market in the next 6 to 18 months. This is key, guys. If there is a lot of activity going to happen from employment perspective in a city in the next 6 to 18 months, that means a lot of new home buyers or investor will be coming into the city to invest into the residential real estate market. The city's boundary expansion in 2017 took in additional lands, including 1830 net acres of industrial employment lands scheduled for development over the next 15 years. And the last bullet point, guys, here, the province is anticipating Brantford's population to increase by 60% in 2041. If a city is going through that much population growth, you can imagine a lot of things will be happening in the coming years. Infrastructure planning, road expansion, rail expansion, new schools, commercial buildings, shopping centers, hospitals, which will eventually drive people to come into the city and live in, buying real estate, and ultimately driving the market up. That is it for me, guys, to cover Brantford real estate market. I hope this is helpful. If you like it, give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And I wanted to cover as much as information about Brantford to give you the perspective that you can make an educated decision about yourself and your investments going forward. I will see you in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye now.